Welcome to Making Shapes. Today, getting into a little bit of cooking. This is the spices that I use for garam masala. I'll go through them briefly in a little bit. This garam masala is a very traditional spice blend, and you can find it all throughout, like kind of like the South Asia. There's kind of some variety of garam masala. Obviously, it's really spice based. Where you might find more herbs. In a lot of the European cuisine, especially Western European cuisine. Here you find a lot more kind of like nuttier, seed-like spices. So let's check it out. So for our base, right, the things that are really going to fill out our spice blend, I start with a cup of coriander seed. Provides a sweet, kind of nutty, almost cookie-like taste to it. And if you ever have the opportunity just to roast a bunch of coriander seed, roast it up, grind it up, and just take a big whiff of that. It's delicious. All right, so then I have a third cup of cumin, just like coriander. Cumin's going to help kind of fill out the spice blend, provide me with a good maybe month's worth. Maybe not a month if you're cooking Indian food often, or various curries often. You would use it a lot more. This will last me like at least a month or so. All right, now another part of that basic kind of the center of our spice blend, fennel. Fennel's very vibrant. I love the taste of fennel, and even though we're just using a quarter of a cup, it's going to come through, but it's not going to overpower anything, right? All right, and then I have, to finish things off, I have about an eighth of a cup, maybe a little bit more of black pepper, right? And black pepper obviously is going to provide that spiciness that we like. And here we have, so like these two flavors really complement each other really well. The black pepper and the coriander seed, it's almost as if they like negate one another, but in actuality, they add, but balance each other out really well, as do cumin and fennel, right? Okay, so if I were going to put these guys like on a spectrum, right, and I'm trying to figure out my flavor and keep everything kind of balanced, but, one thing complementing one another, right, I would take these guys, right? So these guys complement each other really well. You got the sweeter and kind of the light, and then of course you got black pepper, right? Which if it's really coming through, man, it's coming through strong, right? And these two will complement one another and kind of balance out their heavier parts, right? So sweet and pungent there. And then I would keep, this would be my sweet end of the spectrum. I would add my fennel there. And of course the cumin would come in here. And these two balance each other out and complement one another really well as well, right? And say I was going to keep going along that spectrum, right? I'd probably put cinnamon here on that sweet side. Right, cinnamon, that would be balancing out. I'm going to say, this is a tough one. I'm going to say the chili. Oddly enough, I'm going to say the chili. I know that sounds crazy, but maybe I can explain why in a moment, right? So definitely sweeter, obviously spicier, but they also have something kind of in common, right? They're both kind of warm. Obviously, the chili are warm in nature, but cinnamon also warm in nature. All right, so we got, I'm going to say our next sweetest, I'm going to say the curry, right? The curry leaves here. I don't use too much. You can see a pinch. I got maybe half dozen of those curry leaves. Definitely use curry leaves. Don't use bay leaves. I know that they talk about having bay leaves as a replacement, but it really just doesn't add up. I got to say, it just doesn't add up. So you can find curry leaves. Not a big deal. You can order them, of course, but go out to your local ethnic food store. Chances are you're going to find them. All right, so we have, now we're kind of working our way out. I'm going to put green. Yeah, I'm going to put, now I'm left with two. Is that possible? Oh, no, I got the curry leaves here, of course. The curry leaves, now the curry leaves, I'm going to, on the other side, that more pungent side, we have black cardamom. Right, black cardamom, and I don't know, I love the flavor of black cardamom. It's so just unlikely. That's the adjective I'd like to use. Unlikely. I don't know, if you smell it and you taste it kind of come through, it's definitely spicy and strong, but there is a flavor to it that is hard to describe. It's almost like chilies in general, right? Chilies have spice to them, yes, but they also have flavor to them. And there's something about the black cardamom, the flavor of it is just, it's strong, it hits you like kind of like upper back palate kind of stuff. Delicious. All right, and then all the way over to that sweet side, I've got green cardamom. All right, and I'm gonna pair that up with cloves. All right, I'm over here on my stovetop now. I'm all stretched out here. All right, so all right, this is how I'm constructing my garam masala. As I mentioned, right here in the center, this is what's really going to give it a lot of body, right? And they balance one another. And then there's periphery spices. On the other hand, they're the ones that are like little notes. You know, like there's those, like the parts of those songs where something just, you're just like, oh man, you hear that part? Same concept. It's like, oh man, did you taste that like bit of cinnamon? Oh, it's just like kind of hit me right there. All right, anyway. So let's all get it into the pan, right? I'm going to bake everything up and roast this stuff up. And the roasting process, of course, is super, super important, right? You want to start to draw those oils forward a bit without like damaging them too much, which is why, like usually we say you want to roast things until it becomes really fragrant, right? Really, really fragrant. Let's see if I can break these apart a little bit. There's cinnamon, like they're going to be a little bit harder to that heat to kind of penetrate if they're all kind of rolled up and tight. So break it up a little bit if you can beforehand. It's a tough one. Nope, not happening. No, this one definitely not. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this into a 450 degree oven. Now, the higher you go, obviously, the shorter time it will be. I like it somewhere around 375, 400, and that's going to give me like a little bit of time. Could be anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. I'm going to put it at about 7. All right, I'm going to set my alarm for 5, and we will see you in 5 minutes. All right, welcome back. We're about 5-7 minutes in, something like that. I'm starting to smell. Smelling those smells, the ones that you want to smell, that's for sure. You see that the chilies themselves started to blister a little bit. Let's go, give this a little shake. Things are smelling really nice. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to let it sit just like a few minutes, that's all. Again, I just want to draw the oils forward. That's going to help keep some flavors. When you have everything grinded up, of course you do need a spice grinder if you're going about it with a whole spice, which I do suggest you do, mainly because it provides better flavor for sure. The stuff, the packs, it's good stuff, but it's just, I don't know, it's yummy. Right, so I have a square of parchment. I have my spice grinder. I'm going to use this square of parchment to, oh boy, okay, Roche. I'm going to, I'm going to use the spice grinder I'm going to do things in segments, right? It's obviously way too much, so I'm going to draw a few out. The granite top is nice and cool, so it'll help kind of cool things off a little bit quicker. Let's see here. All right. Now, obviously, we want everything to be, as kind of uniform as possible, but it's not going to be the case right away. We're going to have to put things into a bowl before we put it in our final container. We'll have to put things into a bowl, give it a stir, like a little whisk, and mix things up real nice and good. But for now, we have to kind of do everything in segments. A good thing, of course, about using, this is enameled cast iron. Right, that cast iron, it continues to move some heat up into it. I can still feel lots of heat coming off of the pan. And that's going to keep roasting those spices, going to kind of keep things moving along, those oils moving out. All right, so we're good here, though. Now, the thing with doing grinding in like when it's really warm is you want to get it to dry out, or kind of cool down, I should say. You don't want it to dry out. You want it to cool down as fast as possible, right? So I'm spreading things out here. All right, it's not too bad. It's pretty, it's nice and warm for sure. Now, after I grind it, I want to put it right into the bowl. And again, thankfully, it's winter time. It's been a little cold, so that bowl itself is cold as well. I can just pick things up and kind of just draw it right down into. Okay, before I start this grind, I'm going to load up the parchment once again. All right, jump back to the grinder. All right, I like to shake mine a bit. I really listen for things. I can still see that there's a bit of grain. It almost looks like a bunch of, man, wow. Man, did you smell that at all? Did you smell that?
Uh-huh. Oh my God.
Smells good, right?
Uh-huh.
It's very, oh my gosh, smell that. Not too close, but.
Oh my God, it's very strong.
It's very strong, indeed. This is like the best thing to cook by. Now, when you're using fresh spices like this, you want to be mindful because, the first grind, and I can leave this. So, like what I can do now, this is what I'm going to end up using today. I'm going to put this into a jar after it's fully cooled. Right? I could grind all this up and have it at the ready, or I can grind it along the way. Now, to be fair, as I mentioned, we kind of have to grind everything because I didn't take any time really sorting out and separating all the parts. So the flavors would not be uniform from one grind to the next, which can also be kind of fun, All right. Looking good. Drop it in. Corners always get a little tight. Give it a little spin. And we're ready for the next grind. As you can see, it'll go pretty quick. Oh, the colors. That's another thing. The colors are reminds me of 1977. It's like the color palette of 1977. Tell me I'm wrong. Did I ever tell you about my carpet in Nona's house?
No.
The carpet. So my carpet, when I was a kid, was like a mid-shag carpet that was like orange, like scarlet red, and like deep purple, and like blotches everywhere.
Oh God!
I know you should find pictures of it. It's really, really good.
Nona found. I think she found your Superman.
Bed set. Yeah, good stuff. I gotta say that those blankets back in the day, right, the synthetic ones. Oh my God, they're so scratchy. They're like.
I saw it and it was like it had that V sewing on the side, and it was not soft. It's not like the blankets these days at all.
Yeah.
These days are soft, and they got of course it's all machines now, but. It feels like someone put the work into it.
Absolutely.
Instead of just this scratchy blanket that you have to lay on.
Right, yeah, totally. All right, so. I like making the sound. Dropping it in. All right, I think this is going to be our last batch here. It might be kind of a big batch for sure. Well, Roshi, he's got something going on, so I gotta speed this along a little bit. That's okay. There might be parts that, parts of the spices, the separate parts, when you're eating them, they're gonna complement the foods in different ways as well. So, if you're doing a bean dish, you're doing something with potatoes, it's gonna be different. Each time you cook, something different. So there's no doubt that, using garam masala or spice blends in any way, whether it's you know, like spice blend for like Mexican food and stuff like that. You know, it's like it's just obviously different, but you know, still at its core, it's just spices. You know, those flavors, they show up differently from one dish to the next. Sorry to get all like kind of geeky on you about like food and stuff, but you know, it's something that really like kind of commands focus. You know, if you let, you can make really good food with a very simple recipe if you're like highly focused on like what you're doing, you know, and like the food and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just, the smell.
I know, right?
They get like launched in your nose.
Nice.
And you can't get them out.
Absolutely. It's like kind of pervading the entire kitchen right now. It's like,
I know.
it's pretty cool. So the whole house, yeah, like maybe not the whole house, but certainly the kitchen, you know, the room surrounding, you know, and now have this like potpourri of spices. All right. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's really, really cool. Yeah, if you're, you know, someday I'll have a video out for, you know, my masala chai recipe too. That blend just differs a little bit. All right, buddy. No Roshi.
Yeah, Roche.
I know. All right, that's a good boy. Just a little more patience. That's all, buddy. I think we're good. Pretty clean process, I'd say. Flavors. Lots of flavors. All right, we give it a little whisk. With a little whisk. And, you know, now I can use it up. And obviously, as you can see, look how much there is. That's how much. But you want it to cool off, so you got to come back and whisk it. You know, whisk it 2 or 3 times over 5 minutes, and it'll be good. All right. And that is Garam Masala. Looks like 1977. All right, thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, you can always reach out to me and ask questions and things like that if you ever want to talk. All right. Peace.
Also, bye. I'm here. Bye.
Oh, yes. Lorraine says bye.